So let's talk about This Week in Psychology. The two of you, can you tell me, like, I'm going to give you a list of names and kind of tell me what your impression is. Michael Jackson, J.K. Rowling, Sean P. Diddy Combs, R. Kelly, Kevin Spacey, Woody Allen, Harvey Firestein. I'm sorry.
I was going to say there's a lot of similarities. A
lot of negativity.
Elon Musk. Tell me what are you thinking? Are they positive similarities or
no, definitely not good spotlight on them at all. I mean, it depends, I guess, what your point of view is on life, but yeah, not very amazing people, I would say.
Well, with each of these people, whatever the type of art they were, and I included Elon Musk in that because Elon Musk, in his own way, is an artist, creator, yes, very much. But whatever kind of artists they were, did you like their art before? Like Michael Jackson, I have to say, I've always thought was quite brilliant.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I still think he's quite brilliant.
I still do. Well,
yeah, you can't knock, yes. I think, the quality of their art in that sense. You could knock them as a person, but it would suck to tarnish the actual, like, art if it was really good art that you enjoyed in some form.
I agree.
And Woody Allen, I just think is just a brilliant filmmaker. I mean, Elon Musk, I drive a Tesla. I have to say,
I don't.
Even though I feel, I have to say, I feel the scar of that one as I go.
Yeah, for him, it just seems like he's been hurt and he's taking it out on the world now. I don't know. It's not.
I feel like a woman hurt him.
Like it wasn't like an intentional thing, like these other people.
Because I feel like he was level-headed for.
Yeah.
A minute, and then it kind of just got weird.
Yeah.
Well, he did seem to appear that way, but it does seem to be getting much worse. So we'll have to watch that one as it goes. Personally, I've always advocated separating art from the artists. And this is something that, like, when clients come in, like when J.K. Rowling said some negative things about trans people, I had a great deal of clients come in and they would say, I'm very upset, she's one of my favorite authors. I'm very upset that she said this. I don't know if I should still like the books or I should still like the movies. What were her movies?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, oh, yeah. That's right.
And when we were talking about that, because I grew up with Harry Potter, like that was my thing as a kid. I still watch the movies, like I rewatch them constantly. They're just fun to watch along, But I wouldn't want to give that up because, somebody's a crappy person or has crappy thoughts or point of views.
Yes.
Well, there was a study done by a neurocognitive study done by the Institute of Psychology at Humboldt-Universität zu Berlin, that's in Germany. This was a study that was published in Scientific Reports, and they really addressed the issue, can we really separate the art from the artist? History is filled with these examples. These aren't just modern examples. I gave modern examples, but we could go throughout the ages. In fact, I was talking to Brian just earlier that, the author of Peter Pan is quite a controversial figure, and we could go on down the line. There are all kinds of controversies that happen with artists who create art. So what do we do? Can we really separate it? Well, the study they took participants who participated in this study and they evaluated a series of paintings in terms of dimensions of liking the painting, their arousal, what kind of physiological arousal they had when they were looking at the painting, and their judgment of the quality of the painting. And before they received negative, they were given negative information, and they ranked the paintings before they received the negative information or after they received the negative information. And for some of the artists, they just received neutral information, either before, they got it before and after. So neutral information like he grew up in Vienna, he had a dog, he went to school through 8th grade, and then it's kind of neutral, just interesting, but doesn't really tell us anything negative. Some of the painters in this study were famous and some were unknown. So there were different factors they were trying to study. And after the participants had memorized the negative information, their brain activity was recorded by an electroencephalogram. And if those who people don't know, that's an EEG. It's basically like electrodes. It's when they attach those wires to your head just to measure brain activity. And the results of the EEG, that it actually picked up, the EEG was able to record fast involuntary brain reactions as well as slower, more controlled reactions. And the paintings by the artists who were associated with more negative emotional knowledge led to a change in brain activity. So the EEG really picked up this brain change that happened right away. Very good. Right away. Which indicates differences in the processing of basic visual information. And basically this says that when we look at paintings, if we know something negative about the artist, we can't voluntarily separate ourselves at first. So we have an early onset of emotional arousal. That means the arousal might come first, or it comes first, and then we can form our evaluation of the painting. Wow, Tony, for those who could be watching the visual, we just put up a painting of somebody with a full headdress and looking at a visual image and being evaluated looking at the visual image. So whether we like it or not, we are affected when we know negative things about artists. So we have a choice. I mean, either we don't learn anything about the artist, but sometimes that's part of the mythology. When people go to art galleries, they want to know the history of the artist. They want to know what makes the artist tick. Who is this person? You could say this was a person who was homeless until the age of 30, and then he discovered this, and you're like, oh, this is an amazing story, and that can go a long way to sell the painting and to sell the artist. But when we look at paintings and we think negative things about the person, we also might judge the art more negatively. And that could happen with people like P. Diddy or R. Kelly, certainly. Michael Jackson, which I still listen to his music, and I still sometimes have thoughts of some of the associations that were there. Same with Woody Allen. I watched a Woody Allen movie and still had those thoughts. I mean, it's hard not to. So how do we approach it? How can we separate art from the artist? And I don't think, at least according to this study, that's really possible. So we have to approach it a different way. We might want to approach it through when we find out anything about a human being that we're connected to. And with art, we're connected to it. Don't you guys feel connected to certain songs or connected to certain movies? I mean, there are certain things that we can be connected to. And then when we find out something negative, it doesn't mean we throw out that person in our lives. It does mean we have to start to incorporate that in a different way. So how can we do that? Well, my suggestion is first learn to forgive yourself, then you can learn to forgive others, and that's give them grace. It may not be forgetting the information. And in fact, your brain won't let you forget because your brain is trying to protect you from anything negative happening to you. But it does mean you can let go of some of that emotional load so that you can still be able to enjoy the art and appreciate the art as the art and the artist as a human being who's just like you and me.
Good tips. I'll keep that in mind next time I'm watching Harry Potter.
So real quick, though, forgiveness of someone doesn't mean they're changing their behavior. You're just letting go.
That's a great question. So, I like to follow a philosophy of forgive, but don't forget. And we always hear forgive and forget. forget is impossible.
Yeah.
Forgive is letting go of the emotional load, and that's an active process. So we've got to accept that our brain is going to remember, but I think that we can work on letting go of, let's say, hating the person and being able to accept that they're a human being who had a misstep or a series of missteps, or who has a character flaw that might be pretty big. And we might disagree with their personal life, but it doesn't mean we don't. We have to disagree with their art.
And it doesn't mean we have to like them, right?
It doesn't mean we have to like them. I can tell you, I do not want to have a beer with Elon Musk.
Somebody's going to get mad about that one. Sorry.
So be it, folks.
Maybe a glass of wine.
I've given him a lot of money.
Oh, you have. Yeah.
So